A wise scientist once said these words. I'm currently in the free city of Novigrad. Almost 40,000 people live here. Only a handful are nobles. The rest is common folk. When I first arrived in this city, I felt it. It was alive before I got here. This specific feeling followed me through my entire playthrough through The Witcher, both first and the second time. Not that the world revolves around me, the player, but that the world simply exists, and I, the player, have the pleasure of taking part in it. Why are other games so boring and empty? What's missing from other games, where when you enter, you get the feeling that everything is scripted and just waiting for you to get close? What makes Witcher world feel so alive? There are many reasons. You're not the center of the solar system. We will also go through how the game guides us and the immersion itself. This world doesn't give a shit whether you're in it or not. This might seem illogical, but when nothing specific is waiting for you, no events, no scripts, things that have a low probability of happening, like a mountain that just waits for thousands of years for you to step on it just so it can break. That builds the feeling that it's real, because look, when you leave your house, does something specific happen? Do you see markers above manholes? Is someone constantly talking to you? In The Witcher, there are random events too, but fitted to the fact that you're a Witcher. One of many Witchers, a person with a certain profession. Rather unusual one, sure, but you're not the one infinitely special person in that world there. So you walk past these NPCs, and they do their thing. They fish, they hammer all day for half a day, they carry, they wash, they sing and dance. As if they lived their own lives, not giving a damn that you're there. You can't talk to everyone, not that they would want to listen to some cat-eyed guy anyway. They have their own business. And this mass of details. Details you often can't even interact with. Details that add nothing to the gameplay itself, but they add to the feeling of a living world. One that's being used, and that isn't waiting for the arrival of the great Lord Geralt.
Damn, you're ugly.
Many open worlds just wait for you to arrive. The whole scene, the whole setup even, ready. They stand there and stand. Story-wise, it often makes no sense what they are standing there, but they are standing because they were told to by developers. Why so many forts? Where do they all live? What do they eat? Who knows? Sometimes you get a bit of story, but only sometimes. Not that it's easy to remember it when it's so scattered around. So in the games like this, you fly from dot to dot, like going shopping where you need to visit 12 stores, not engaging with anything along the way. And you can turn off the minimap, sure, I'm just curious if you will find anything. To the left, wastelands. To the right, nothing visible. No stars to guide you either, and nobody will tell you where to go. And sure, sometimes checking off tasks can be fun, but in The Witcher, it's like another whole layer on top of everything. The world is incredibly dense, full of creatures, people, stories, emotions, and most importantly, feelings. Markers, sure, they are there too. But once you get to a place, you find a story that can pull you in, like the main storyline. Maybe shorter, but still intense. God, I hate color-painted ledges. I see something like that and I already know what type of game I'm playing. And it doesn't have to ruin the whole game. But somehow, I immediately felt too guided. Go this way you can go, otherwise no other way. Maybe the game should just play by itself at this point and show some cutscene or something. So how much the game guides you, it has to be well calibrated. Too little, like in Elden Ring, and you die 20 times to a mob because you went into some demonically hard area. Too much, and you fly around like at work, from task to task, guided by color-coded edges.
Bah.
Because when you play, do you prefer to explore, discover the unknown, see where a given path leads you, what lurks behind a dark corner, and often you go into a direction that is not optimal, or to follow a designated route, but like in your face designated, like always go where you need to go, straight to the target. I see how both formulas can work, but only one of them gives me that incredible fun, and I'm talking about exploration, obviously. In The Witcher, something's happening everywhere, all the time, some action, constantly. Someone, something, animal, beast, creature. Here a village pulled together, and you need to banish a monster for them. Here some sorceress, and you know how they affect Geralt. Over there, play some Gwen, grab a card for the collection, beat someone at feasts, drink some beer, listen to music at the market, drunk at 9 in the morning. And some peasant stops you suddenly. They are challenging you to a duel because he needs to prove his manhood to his sweetheart. He gets a proper beating, of course, because it's Geralt the Witcher. And off he goes. And this is exactly true roleplay. There is a goal, there is a mission, there is tension. But there is also a living world that's begging you to take part in it. In contrast to this, we have a world where there are like 3 types of locations that you learn after 3 hours of playing. It's just that only one of these 2 types of games offer such an incredible level of immersion and possibility of getting into the role. Different creatures, monsters, unique stories, grandma's frying pans needing rescue. Even the journal entry itself in the mission where grandma's dinner needs saving says that not every Witcher adventure is a grand adventure. Geralt often took simple, mundane tasks, and even the most trivial of them could bring joy to many troubled inhabitants of this fantastical land. The feelings that come with this, with discovering, learning, the possibility of helping that NPC, an NPC that for a second feels like they existed and really lived, and that's what the brain remembers, because it likes to filter through and keep the coolest moments. But they have to be there, and they are often born during discovering and learning. That's why time moves slower for children, and why they have a good time, and that's what this virtual world gives us. World where rules are turned upside down. You can learn them, feel like a child who doesn't know the rules, the world, the regulations or the problems that come with them. On the other hand, when they guide you, do this task, then this one, go collect 30 plants over there, it's like a math class when you were 12. You didn't care about sitting in. So boring. As opposed to this. Magical world, the world of The Witcher 3, and in its center, in its heart, beats a city, huge as hell, Novigrad. City full of merchants who want to push some expensive junk on you that you won't need for anything. A city with fishermen who probably never caught anything. But when you walk past them for a moment, it seems like they are really about to catch something. A guy who looks at a coin purse 18 hours a day. I don't know if he can't count, if he just likes them, or if he pays for it. But he's there, and I appreciate it. Because passing by, rushing through even if I stop for a moment, this bubble, it's in the right balance for me to believe that this supposed simulation is something more than a simple algorithm. That I can feel like a part of all this. And these fairy tale locations, how wonderful it is there. Ships, seagulls, pubs. What would it be without pubs? How many times I've said to myself those funny lines I heard in a Witcher pub.
Me? The more I drink, the clearer I think.
And one thing ties it all together. Music. Omnipresent music. Whether beautifully recorded and played through the Witcher's headphones or from street musicians. Something's always playing, with additional accompaniment from the chatter, the constant crowd of talking Novigrad residents. How I love him. At the end of the day, it's about emotions, about how I feel when I play a game like this. I see that this world isn't a perfect simulation, that every NPC doesn't have a schedule, and if I steal someone's fish, they won't be looking for them the next day. But it's enough to feel like part of something bigger, and that's a rather primal feeling. Excessive realism could also be off-putting. Who would want to ask some NPC 100 times for directions, because they can't find the chapel for the next quest? And this unique balance of attraction density, navigation and believability that it leaves, that gives me this feeling, like it's going to keep happening even after I exit the game.